also contributes to this economy greatly. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. In fact, BDL has produced so many Akash missiles, more than 20,000 crores worth of missiles. And in Akash missile, 85% of the parts come from private industries. BDL is a system integrator. So much is the contribution of the industries. And Akash is one missile which has again played a very important role in Operation Sindoor, protecting our country in a big way. Now we have again one more uh, company which has again produced a large number of missiles, that is BrahMos, a Indo-Russian joint venture. And again BrahMos, like Akash, has played a vital role in the offensive role in Operation Sindoor in a big way. Now the BrahMos is producing for various countries now, not only for India, exporting in a big way. And I like to ask the CMD, who is here, MD, Dr. J.R. Joshi, Jayajit Joshi, what next you have as a Indo-Russian collaborations? Are you trying to bring some more? Or you are going to have an updated, modernized weapons? Or what else you are going to bring it to Hyderabad is what we are looking at you.
Thank you, Honorable Minister and my ex-boss, Dr. Satish Reddy ji. Hello. And all the panelists and many of the CEOs of the companies. We are building the present version of the things from which we are firing from the land, ship and air version. And to accommodate the thing, we want to make it a new generation missile, which is a sleeker version to come on the LCA. That is the major thing we are doing it. The diameter we are reducing it so that we can fire it from the submarine. These are the new developments, and also hypersonic version we are working on it. One thing, Hyderabad, as everybody has told, it's a fantastic place. I always keep telling, from airport to any part of the city which is 70 kilometers or 80 kilometers flat, 1 hour 10 minutes we can reach. No other city has got this type of infrastructure. We have got various industries, last 50, 60 years, industries have been built. That is, whether it is DRDO, space and atomic energy. All the three strategic sectors and the defense PSUs are there. However, one thing which I see the lacking is the core engineering field is lacking. We are coming up with so many aerospace companies where we require hardcore mechanical, electronics and aerospace engineers, which definitely all the industry partners and including Masood, who is on the panel, and Commodore Madhav Rao ji, we don't get industry ready engineers. That is the very, very big worrisome factor for an industry. And we train them, and finally they leave it for a greener pasture in some other sector, maybe like banking or some other IT sector and all. The hardcore engineering thing is dying. I request Telangana government to put some efforts on that one. We have the quality consciousness also is very low. Day before yesterday, the conclusion, I was in a valedictory function of IIM, Indian Institute of Metals. 1700 scientists and academicians and industry partners from across the world participated in IIT. And we are doing one more event on the platform of I&CAD. We are trying to bring it to Hyderabad and do it, for which I am the president also. We are doing training and certification, but the skill set of the people is very, very low. So skills university, any of state government has started. We should bring in all these societies and train and certify the people in a bigger way. Unless we do this thing, our core engineering sector is going to die. Many of the engineering colleges in Hyderabad have closed their mechanical and metallurgical engineering branches, which is a very worrisome factor. We have so many mines, even though Singareni collieries are there, we don't have any single extractive metallurgist left or a metallurgy branch is there in the country. And same is the case with the mechanical engineering, and electronics also is going down. Everything is getting into AI, machine learning and all. Unless we have a hardcore engineering, we cannot do anything with the AI and machine learning. We should have a model wherein all these societies can help the state government to frame the curriculum. Recently, for diploma, they have come up for the curriculum framing for mechanical engineering graduates, which we have done it. So the many societies are there which are headed by the people in or around Hyderabad or from the Hyderabad. So we can be of some help so that aerospace industry can be built and Hyderabad can become a big aerospace industry. Earlier, few hours back, Deputy CM of Karnataka was also telling he will also partner with us, taking cue from them. Bangalore is doing a lot of things in the aerospace industry, as he was telling that his export is much more than the IT export. We also should aim for that one, and we all the industries will be supporting the cause of the Telangana government in this venture.
Thank you, J.R. Joshi. Now, I just move from defense to space. We have been talking about defense, but space also is doing extremely well. India has become one of the leaders in the world in the space related activities. Government has come out with so many measures wherein private industry is participating in the defense activities in a big way. We have two people connected to the space here. One is Ananta Technologies, the MD, Mr. Subbarao is here. And also we have the startup, which I'll come to him, Nagabharat, a little later. So, Dr. Subbarao-ji, looking at the space industry particularly, for Hyderabad, we have only one laboratory here, NRSC, but then a lot of space industries have come, a lot of startups have come. You yourself, you are doing extremely well, and you are heading the space organization in the industry side also. What do you think in the next few years, space industry movement wise, and what do you expect from the government of Telangana to do for it to flourish further, to fly into the space beyond geostationary? They are already flying high, so beyond that they need to fly.
Thank you, sir. Honorable Minister Garu, Uttam Kumar Reddy Garu, Satish Reddy Garu, and distinguished panelists and distinguished participants here. See, the subject today we are discussing about is in the plan that rise of Telangana. In this, we are talking about 3 trillion economy that Telangana is going to achieve by 2047. In order to achieve the 2047 3 trillion economy, the space can play major role. In fact, it is such a role that can play for acceleration growth of the entire Telangana. Perhaps we have to build what is known as the digital highways. That is a bandwidth distribution across the Telangana through which knowledge can be transferred, which means we are talking about education, medicine, a lot of other things also can be there. Entire knowledge can be transferred to the villages from here. See, that's where, even Abdul Kalam was talking about a Pura, that digital divide between the urban areas and the rural areas can be bridged using the satellite technology on that. So there are already about the defense ecosystem, many people have been talking about it, and the panel also knows about that part. Sir, even the defense systems, Satish Reddy, I want to tell just only one point that, even the defense area, thanks to DRDO and also BDL and BrahMos and other people, today private industry can build a missile as a whole, a launch vehicle as a whole. The example is that we have the example also here in the startup company, which builds entire launch vehicle. Similarly, satellites can be built from here. So that means ecosystem as already existing. Only thing is the policy also enables, the government of India policy today enables that. Now the state government merely not look at the allocation of land, only that, but we should think something beyond that. The allocation of land is world syllabus, sir. And as far as this is concerned, I think how to the industry, the government of Canada, Telangana can involve in the industry in terms of not only building up the industry in terms of, as I told you, the digital highways to building up that part of it, through which, even government policies can reach the village level. So that way many things can be done. Similarly, in the remote sensing area, see, one is upstream side. Upstream side, we talk about the launch vehicles and satellites. Downstairs, applications of the satellite data to the various development initiatives. So that can become the part of that. See, in order to become the 3 trillion economy, space must be involved in a big way. That's all I can say. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Subaraji. 1 minute.
Subaragaru, thank you for your suggestion. You please be in touch with us, and Magivana, you can make a note for us how exactly you want the Telangana government to go forward in the space sector.
Having entered into space, let me continue in the space, bring the startup forward. We have Skyroot, and Skyroot is the first company to test a launch vehicle. And just very recently, just about 1 week back or 10 days back, Honorable Prime Minister has inaugurated a big unit of Skyroot in Hyderabad, very nearby from here on the Sri.Nalamada road itself. So the founder of it, Nagbharat, is here. What are the Skyroot plans and what are the various startups which are coming up and how the startup ecosystem is going to come up in Hyderabad in the space sector is what I wanted to know from you.
So, thank you so much, Satish Reddy garu, and thank you, the Telangana Rising Global Summit team, for giving me the opportunity to be part of this esteemed panel to share my thoughts on this very important topic. So, we are Skyroot. We are a launch company based in Hyderabad, and in 2022 we became the first private company not only in India but also in South Asia to launch a rocket to space. And we are getting ready for our first orbital launch of our Vikram 1 rocket, which we hope to do in the early to 2026. And the reason we started in Hyderabad also, like as any startup ecosystem, when most startups start in cities majorly because of the ability to hire good talent. And the reason why the multiple cities to choose from, the reason why we started from Hyderabad is precisely because of the reason, as Satish Reddy garu mentioned, the excellent manufacturing ecosystem that has been built and nurtured over the decades by the huge number of DRDO labs and the BDL, BrahMos kind of organizations. So that we can, like our first rocket, most of it was not just designed in-house, but also manufactured in Hyderabad. The ability to get things done in close proximity was the key reason why we started out in Hyderabad. And when it comes to the contribution of private space startups and private space tech to the economy, just to give you a glimpse, the space economy currently is around $400 billion, and it's set to transition to a $1 trillion by 2030. And India, being one of the top 5 nations in the world who can rub shoulders with the top 5 nations in the world in terms of space technology, by the technological capability our government space program has, but still we still hold less than 2% of this global space economy. And the space reforms that have been introduced in the 2020 and subsequently have this single point agenda of making India's share in the global space economy to a double-digit percentage, a 10% share, and even beyond. And that transition can only happen not just by a governmental space effort. It is the private industry participating in building things. The capability of building doing system engineering has to come to private industry, not just manufacturing capability. We have very good aerospace grade manufacturing capability that has been privatized since decades. And what is happening over the last decade and accelerated post the space reforms is this ability and the drive, both by the established corporates, but also by the new age startups, to be able to build and design and develop end-to-end systems from scratch. And that is the transition that we are going to see. And this, like well before 2047, the world is going to transition from a purely earth-based economy to a very space-integrated economy. And it's not just going to be earth observation, communications and defense, like even the climate awareness, even the data infrastructure is going to be space-based. And this is the transition that India cannot miss. And we should take a lead in architecting this transition. and this transformation to a space integrated economy. And and as a country we are going to, this is a crucial decade where we are going to from from a importer of a net importer of advanced deep tech solutions in aerospace and defense to an exporter of this deep technology solutions in aerospace and defense. And Telangana has all the ingredients to be the epicenter of this transformation because it has great infrastructure and right governance with the right ambition. And if we do things, there are few things that needs to be done rightly. As sir pointed out, the establishing a specialized industry ready talent pipeline is very much important, especially in the core engineering fields, because having people in core engineering, strong fundamentals in core engineering field, who can leverage the AI tools and AI capabilities to actually accelerate the work. What takes 1 month can be done in days, but can only be done by people who have core fundamentals in the core fundamental sciences and core engineering fields. So that is establishing specialized talent pipelines is one thing that government should focus on. So for industry to be able to take leverage of this democratic dividend and accelerate forward, and also enable policies that attract a long-term investment, high gestation period in investment. So I'm sure like most of the policies might not be a state subject, some will be in the central government domain, but like incentivizing, enabling like long-term investment for the investment ecosystem so that they can invest in long gestation period, deep tech development ventures, so that all the deep tech ventures can attract the right amount of seed capital and growth capital to be able to become the OEMs of the world from India is in the future. Thank you.
Thank you. I like to mention one thing for industry-ready workforce now. The government has taken a decision where a minor degree in BTech in defense technologies is being introduced now. It's part of the 4 years curriculum, but there are specializations where he studies so that he is industry-ready workforce. 18 credits are allocated for this, and I was the chairman of the syllabus drafting committee, and then the AICT has accepted and promulgated now. Next year onward, these courses will start. So that should fill in some gaps. But what Joshi said is, everybody is going to computer science, IT, data sciences, AI, ML. You should also be having people studying the core subjects. This is industry-ready workforce, it will be taken care. Now we have Mr. Jitender Gavankar. He is the CEO of Safran. Safran is one again who has done great things, particularly to Hyderabad. Now Safran has established the largest ever MRO in Hyderabad for the civil engines, civil aircraft engines. Just very recently, Honorable Prime Minister 10 days back has inaugurated it in the Aero City of GMR 10 days back. Similarly, for the military aircraft, M88 engine, again outside the France, this is the only MRO which is established in Hyderabad. They also have cable harness and related plant which is done. Like to ask Gavanka, Safran, we like to see MRO established for the two engines. We are extremely happily thankful to you. Will it bring manufacturing also many units here and then manufacture from this country and export to the world is what we are looking at. See, the country started exporting. Last year, the country has exported 23,666 crores of equipment from here. Now, we need to see more. So, will you be coming like these two units you brought to Hyderabad? In manufacturing unit also, will you be bringing here?
So, coming straight to the question, we are already manufacturing in the same GMR Aeropark where we inaugurated the MRO. In fact, the manufacturing was set up before MRO. In 2020, we had laid that foundation. In 22,
I said
Yeah.
about it, but that is cable harness and
No,
related
that
and
is
some other small units.
cable.
But big manufacturing units,
So
like
we-
engine you manufacture here.
The complete engine is some time away, I would say. But right now on the LEAP engine, about 13 part references we manufacture out of Hyderabad.
We manufacture cable harnesses for LEAP engines here. We manufacture Rafale cable harnesses here. We Falcon aircraft harnesses are manufactured here. So those manufacturing activities happen out of Hyderabad. There are some other manufacturing plants of us, but they are in other city like Bangalore. There is a possibility that if the Indian Air Force bigger project of Rafale gets through and Dassault gets selected as the potential supplier, and back of that it would make sense to set up the Rafale engine manufacturing, and that is definitely on the thought process.
Thank you. We like to hear some more good news from you in the coming future. I'm sure TR-40 and other engines which are being imported here, and then those units are supposed to be manufactured here. I'm sure you will be able to manufacture them here. Now, when I say the manufacturing sector in the country today in defense, last year, out of the 1.75 lakh crores of the capital budget, 1.5 lakh crores worth of equipment has been manufactured indigenously in the country. And now immediately target kept for 25-26 is 1.75 lakh crores worth of equipment to be manufactured here in the country. Now for the year 28-29, the target given by Honorable Raksha Mantri is 3 lakh crores worth of equipment to be manufactured here. That means it is double of what it is in the next about 3 to 4 years. So the manufacturing is going to take place in a big way in the country. So the industries, MSMEs, bigger industries will be playing a major role. Tata is one which has been manufacturing many things. In Hyderabad is one of the first units which has established in Adipatla and supplying to the world the helicopter related units, various other things, working with the DRDO, supplying various units and all that. So like to know what are the further manufacturing plans from the man who is continuously behind whom we have been working with so long and all that, Mr. Masood, the workhorse is here. Like to know from him, from Tata's and also the manufacturing sector, what this 3 lakh crores, how it is going to happen and how you are going to bring it to Hyderabad, those manufacturing like to hear from you.
Honorable Minister, Dr. Satish Reddy, firstly, thank you very much for the very kind words. It would have been nice if you had said this at May when my appraisal happens, but I'll take it as of now. Also to the other esteemed panelists who are with me, Dr. Joshi in particular, who we have worked with a long time back. I think the nation is immensely proud of what BrahMos has done. Desh ki izzat rakh liya aapne, so thank you very much. Air Chief Marshal Chaudhary, thank you so much. Again, the air warriors are what has kept the nation and the way we live safe, so thank you for that. So I grew up in India in the 1980s. And growing up, at least the view was that India could not manufacture quality products. And if at that point in time I had come to you and said that some of the best equipment in the world, including the American presidential helicopter, will be manufactured in India, you would have taken me to Agra, got 200 rupees and a blanket, and admitted me into the mental asylum there. Those are some of the misconceptions that we had, or the doubts that we had when we started our journey in Hyderabad in 2008. Today, I'm pleased to say that every aircraft that you travel in the world has significant parts made from Hyderabad, and that includes the American presidential helicopter. Today, what I'd also like to add is those helicopters and aero engine parts, a significant portion of them are actually made by young girls from Telangana, from the most rural parts of Telangana, many of whom have never even seen an aircraft, let alone ride in an aircraft, and they build aircrafts as good, if not better, than some of the best mechanics in the world. So that itself is proof of, one, what India is capable, what the women of India are capable, and what the state of Telangana is capable of. So in terms of capabilities, what we have built, of course, is the ability to build the full aircraft. We are also now building the full C295 aircraft flyaway.
all the major sections of those are being made in Hyderabad. They get supplied to Vadodara where the final assembly line is there. In addition to that, over the years, one thing I'll add to what JS mentioned, we are making the shaft of the LEAP engine for Safran. This is for global orders. All the work that we do across the board is actually 100% export. Today, we started our engine manufacturing in 2016. At that time, we were doing less than 1% of the engine capability. Today, because of the work that we have done over the last 6 years, where we were supplied to all the global majors, Rolls-Royce, GE, and Safran, up to 70% of the aero engine can be manufactured in our premises. And that is not just for commercial, but also for military engines. So it's a huge strategic benefit that the nation has. In terms of our future roadmap, one of the other things that we are doing is that we will be building the entire Dassault Rafale fuselage will be made in our factories in Hyderabad. All of these, all Dassault, two sources. There'll be one in France, there'll be one in Hyderabad. So 50% of Rafale fighters sold worldwide will have their fuselages made in Hyderabad. Similarly, all the shafts of the LEAP engine, 40% of those will be made here. Casings, nearly 80% are made here. If I see the growth, there is no limit to what looks ahead of us, because what we've been able to do over the last few years is to build the capability. I think we've set up the capability, the infrastructure, and also prove to the world that we can not only meet but exceed global standards of quality, on-time delivery, and cost competitiveness. And what it has meant is today we are in a situation where we have an order backlog of nearly $4 billion, reaching up to 2040 on the aero engine side alone. We've actually had to say no to a lot of work that we are doing. We are selectively choosing what we do and don't do. So I'm quite certain, Dr. Reddy, to the question that you asked, that the targets that have been set by the Honorable Raksha Mantri for exports can easily be done. There is an infrastructure here. The talent pool that we have in India, particularly in the state of Telangana, the rapid ability to assimilate and learn and deliver is what will make India amongst the foremost exporters of defense technology in a very short period of time.
Thank you, Mr. Masood. Very nice to hear all these things from you. Now you all heard from the eminent panels here. They're all from across various sectors of the defense and space. Everyone has done, or every organization has done in its own way, extremely good for the state of Telangana. Now, having heard this, we are all now convinced that Hyderabad is flying high in defense and space sector. So now what next? Next is to make Hyderabad a global hub for defense R&D, space R&D, and defense and space manufacturing. That is what is the theme. So how do we take it forward? All of you who have any suggestions in this, any proposals in this, may send it to the government and may send it to the Mr. Praveen or anyone else, and then those things can be studied by the government and taken forward. In fact, we thought we'll have some questions or queries or anything from the audience, but we are running very late. The next panel is also almost ready and they have to start here. That is why no questions or no queries are taken up from the audience. But whatever you have, you may put down on a paper or put down on a mail and send it. The mail ID will be given by Praveen and you can send it to all of them. Thank you very much. And I request Honorable Minister to hand over the mementos to all the panelists here.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you, one and all. And now I request Uttam Reddy Garu to felicitate our panelists. Firstly, our moderator for this panel session, Dr. G. Satish Reddy Garu. Air Chief Marshal Sri Vivek Garu, and that's Air Chief Marshal Sri Vivek Garu, A. Madhavrao Garu. Dr. Jaitirth Joshi ji, Shri Jitendra Gavankar ji, Dr. Subbarao Pauluri, Masood Hussaini ji, and Shri Naga Bharat Dhaka Garu. Would like to thank each one of our panelists who are here. Shri Naga Bharat Dhaka Garu. Thank you so much, each one of you, for joining us on stage and sharing your visions, expertise. Of course, definitely all your inputs do help us to see how technology, sustainability, industry governance, and human capital together shape the Telangana of tomorrow. Your contributions today have added immense value to the dialogue and deepened our understanding of what a progressive, equitable, and globally competitive Telangana looks like. On behalf of the organizers and everyone present here, I extend my heartfelt gratitude for all our panelists who are here. Thank you so much for sharing all your knowledge, your commitment to building the Telangana of 2047. Thank you so much, sir. As we move on to the next session of our panel discussion this evening, ladies and gentlemen, we are joined today by distinguished representatives from the industry, leaders from across the ASEAN region. Their perspective definitely helps us to understand not just where opportunities lie, but how can they be unlocked collaboratively. Moving on to the May I request Uttam Reddy Garu to please stay back and join us for the next panel discussion as well.